see here. Yeah, just a couple of seconds here. See.
I always make them wait at least a minute.
Yeah, that's because you're sadistic, SOB. Alright, so welcome in, Tiger fans. It's early Christmas Day here in Clemson. I am Zach Lynch, joined as always by Jason Priester.
The sadistic one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was just telling me how he likes to make y'all wait. So, we just finished up with Dow's press conference here. So just wanted to get your initial thoughts on this signing class. And anything that you shocked you or surprised you about this year's class?
Nothing that shocked me or surprised me, but the biggest thing for me is addressing some of those skill spots. I think Clemson's lacked some explosiveness in recent years, and I think they've done something to address that with this class. Guys like Wesco and TJ Moore at wide receiver, Christian Bettker at tight end, David Ajamame at running back. Those guys just give you a ton of explosiveness, all three of those spots, and I think Clemson needs some of that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was a little shocked, when Dow was asked about, his addressing the speed issues on offense. He immediately went to guys like Coulter and say, the hemming out of the season really hurt the Tigers. He said that he felt like the Tigers, had plenty of speed on offense. I mean, your thoughts on the offensive side?
To me, there's a difference between speed and explosiveness. And maybe there is some guys on that on the offensive side of the ball that have some legit speed. I've said it for a long time. I think Adam Randall is faster than he plays. But again, I think there's a difference between being fast and being explosive and having that burst. And I think that's something, that explosiveness. That's what Clemson's missed on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that's what TJ Moore, Bryant Wesco, they both bring that field stretching ability to the table. Soft hands, they can go up high point the ball. I mean, just dynamic playmakers. And Clemson needs some dynamic playmakers in this offense.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime you're coming off a second offensive season in a row where you have been less than successful, I think the last thing that the fans really want to hear is that those issues are addressed already. But I agree. Wesco and Moore are plug and play guys. They're guys that you expect to step in, and have an impact immediately. But let's talk a little bit about the defensive side. Who stands out to you on that defensive side other than the obvious Sammy Graham?
I love what they've done on the back end in the secondary to go with some of those guys that they brought in the 2023 class. You bring in guys like Corey and Gibson, Tavoy Fegan. I think those are two really good corners with really good cover skills. And then what they did at safety and Ricardo Jones, Noah Dixon. I think the back end is just set up really nicely. And then the wild card in all this is Ashton Hampton, versatile guy. You can plug him in a bunch of different spots. Sounds like they kind of see him as a corner, but wouldn't shock me if he ended up at nickel or one of those safety spots. Just a lot of talent they brought in that secondary in back-to-back classes now. And I'm not even touching on the Joe Wilkinson kid who just committed yesterday. Still don't know a whole lot about him,
Yeah,
but
I
I
was
do
gonna
know he
say,
likes to hit.
I was gonna say, he was the one guy that kind of caught us off guard yesterday. And immediately, my first thought when he announced is that means there is no transfer guys coming in. Because, you don't take a guy like him who looks like, honestly, I texted you and said, he looks like he is more fit for like the Duke basketball team than he does Clemson football. But, you don't take a guy like that. You have, a pro guy because he takes up a slot.
I never expected Clemson was going to take a portal guy in the secondary, anyways. But I've only watched a little bit of his film. He's still got a little bit of developing to do. He was the player of the year in 6A there in Georgia. That's one of the toughest divisions or toughest regions in Georgia. So that's a pretty impressive feat within itself. The guy likes to lay the wood. I did notice that in a little bit of film I watched. We'll see what he develops into. He's also going to have a very crowded depth chart to deal with it back there in that safety spot or at safety.
Yeah, honestly, this is a class that I think they addressed a lot of the Tigers' needs, and I feel that this is a class that, much like maybe the 2011 class, it doesn't have as high accolades as many of the other classes, but they got some dudes on the squad, West Comore, John Sammy Brown, even Hampton, Kasai, and those guys. I mean, those are some dudes. And Darian Mayo is a guy that we haven't spoken about a lot. There was a lot of heat on him, yesterday coming from the Alabama, Ohio State crowd. So,
I can tell you that he was being heavily pursued all the way up to through yesterday. Heavily pursued. He's a guy that I'm extremely high on. I know he doesn't enroll early. They've got a very detailed, plan in place for him to be in shape for when he gets here in the summer, physically. I think he's got a chance to come in and play immediately. And I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with this because he just kind of came out of nowhere. But I like the KJ Kuba Taylor kid too, man. The more I watch his film, the more I like him. Just kind of transferred over to good counsel before the start of this season. One of those late bloomers, played beside Aaron Childs, the Florida commit, and talking with somebody that watched him play a lot this year. If he wasn't playing beside Aaron Childs, he probably gets a lot more recognition. There's like 4 Power 5 or big-time Power 5 talents on that defense, so he gets overlooked a lot. But I think Clemson got a steal in him.
Yeah, I agree. As you can probably tell, we are just coming from the press conference here, outside the indoor facility. So we are getting your comments here. Let's see. Go Tiger says this class can be special. 20. I can't read.
2025 class might be crazy. Now that I can agree. I agree with that. That thing's getting off to a heck of a start.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's something that, was addressed, by Dow in his press conference was last year being the first year that some of these guys can actually travel to the bowl game and go through practices with the team. The list officially from Ross Taylor is David Jean, Brown, Fegan, Gibson, Hauser, Jones, Thompson, and Berg are the list of guys that are tentatively going to taking part in the Tigers' practices down in Jackson. Nolan Hauser is a kid that we have heard down not mentioned, but mentioned many times this season in the fact that he has said that they are going to sign the best kicker in the nation. And this kid comes in with all the accolades and everything, to back up those claims. Obviously, the place kicking has been a sore spot for the Tigers this year. But, Noah Hauser has a chance to come in and be effective immediately.
Oh yeah, that you talking about filling a need, and I would just caution and say, hey, Robert Gunn came in here with a bunch of accolades too. You don't ever know about a kicker, man, but something feels different about Nolan Hauser, um, the record holder for most field goals in high school history. I think nationally, that's impressive. I think he kicked 66 field goals in high school, man. That's just unheard of. I know the high school games I go watch, they rarely kick any field goals, much less getting him sniffing 66. But yeah, that is an immediate need that needed to be addressed in this class. And they went out and got the top guy in the country. You can't do
Yeah,
better than that.
yeah. And kickers are something that are often overlooked in recruiting classes. I but anytime you can go out and lure the best guy in the country, honestly, it doesn't matter the position. I think you're doing something special. Not me, he says he's just happy that he is not a Gamecock fan. I mean,
I wouldn't know what that feels like. So.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Clemson is prepping for their ball game, and the Gamecocks are prepping for New Year's parties or something.
And watching Porter players get flipped.
Yeah, you gotta be careful of that. Like, I thought you were about to say porno players.
It's bad when you start getting the portal play. Your portal guys are getting flipped. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Michael gets to ask you, are there going to be any additional recruits from the Pearl appears the team to be 86? Actually, Dow addressed this in his press conference. He said they are currently at their number, which is 85. So, you can take that for what it's worth. And also, he said that there are currently no other needs that he sees being addressed through the transfer portal. So, I believe that this class is done as it sits right now. Obviously, the portal closes January 4th, I believe.
Second or the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there's always an option, if someone decides to leave after the game. But as it stands right now, this class is done, and they are, moving ahead into 25.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of not looking at an end in the portal. You don't have much experience there. You got T.J. Parker and Cade Denoff and Zaire Patterson. So behind Parker, you got nothing really experience-wise. You got a lot of talent. I know Patterson and Denoff neither have done much since they've been here, but those are two very highly rated guys coming out of high school. I think A.J. Hoffler's got a high ceiling. But again, not a lot of experience. I think, to me, that was kind of the biggest need portal-wise. We'll see where they are after the ball game. I still think we got a little bit more attrition coming.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's always the chance somebody leaves, and we are going to apologize to y'all because we are out here freezing. Jason, poor things over here shaking. I am shaking.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of moving Woods outside either. He talked about that today too. That might would take him slimming down a little bit and dropping a little bit of weight. I don't know. His strong suit to me is inside. We'll see how it plays out though.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Denhoff doesn't strike me as a guy that is going to strike fear into opposing offenses. like a Cleveland Farrell or TJ Parker or any of the defensive ends that you think about Clemson's past, you immediately start to rattle off those guys. Cade Denhoff just doesn't strike me as a guy that can fill that starting spot.
No, me neither. I would be shocked if Cade Denhoff should start defensive end come next year, game one. That would very much surprise me. Add in the fact Georgia's the opening opponent that even makes it a little bit more worrisome if that's the case. But um, I think you got some talent to work with there. It's just you just very short on experience. You look at Zaire Patterson, he looks the part. He's just not done anything since he's been on campus. You look at AJ Hoffler, he looks the part.
Yeah.
Just a freshman this season.
Yeah.
And those two freshmen coming in.
How much AJ Hoffler not getting that much of a chance this season, as a result of Parker and Haskell, Root, the guys that he just had ahead of him. You have to think that he entered this season, that he would be the guy, much like
he might be the
TJ
Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mayo could be that guy next year. I get it. He's not an early enrollee, but man, they've got a very detailed plan in place for him for the off season between now and when he gets here in the summer to make sure he's in tip top physical condition. He's going to do Zoom calls with the coaches to make sure he's got the playbook down. So he's going to be up to speed when he gets here. I think he's going to have early opportunity. And Adam Kasaya told me personally, he's coming in here to win a starting job.
Damn.
So make it out what you will.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll take that with a grain of salt. But, that's the difference. These guys, even, nowadays, when they even wait until the summer to enroll, they aren't coming in at as huge a disadvantage as, maybe, the guys 5 or 10 years ago, because they have these Zoom capabilities. They can get in these players. And honestly, these guys are coming from schools that, have facilities, weight rooms, or Clemson can send these guys, hey, here's what we need to be at, before you get here.
That's exactly what they're doing with Mayo. Exactly. They've got him. It's a very detailed plan with a trainer. I don't know if it's a personal trainer or somebody Clemson put in charge of it, but he's got a trainer. He's going to have Zoom calls with coaches and teammates and stuff throughout the spring and or before he gets here in the summer. So he should, like you said, it makes it much easier. You got all this technology, man, that you can use to get guys up to speed. It's not like it was 10 years ago when they're coming in here a blank slate.
Yeah, and so, just want to give everybody a quick reminder, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, do us a favor, it helps, Jason keep warm, he is out here sharing, we are out here sharing, and also, I want to give you an update, there will be no Monday Live this week, because Jason's going to be on the road to Jacksonville.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's Christmas Day. No show on Christmas Day.
Yes, sir. However, we will be live from Jacksonville starting that Tuesday all the way up through the game. And we'll have coverage pregame, postgame. We'll have interviews with players, coaches, special guests. So you will not want to miss anything. And the best way that you can make sure that happens is to subscribe and hit that bell. So, Jason, your last thoughts before we let you get in your car and get warmed up.
I think Clemson addressed a lot of needs in this class. I don't know about the Wilkinson take. We'll see how it works out. But outside of that, I don't think there are any bad takes here. I think Kasai is probably more of a developmental guy, but I think there's a lot of high-end talent in this class. After they did such a good job of kind of restocking that defense last year in the 2023 class, I think this 2024 class, man, they just hit it out the park on the offensive side, while at the same time still, bringing in some defensive dudes. We hadn't mentioned Evan Brown Schuler or Champ Thompson. I think those are two high ceiling guys that with all the depth at tackle, they'll be able to develop at their own pace. And we haven't even talked about the offensive line. Brought in 4 guys. I like all 4 of them. I think the kid they just flipped from Duke is a player, man. Yeah, I think he's a player.
Any offensive line that has the nickname of Moose, you have to love.
I think Elijah Thurman's a player. Both those guys are versatile. You can play them outside, inside, and I think Watson Young can be a center. If he was a inch or two taller, he's probably got a bunch more offers than he does right now. And Ronan O'Connell, man.
That's the same thing people say about me.
I ain't touching that. And Ronan O'Connell, I think, he's got the potential to be a really good player. So, I mean, after struggling so mightily recruiting offensive linemen in this class, you got to like the way they finished.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I think the offensive side, there's tons to like. Lesko, Arizona, and then, like you said, the defensive side, you have guys like Kasai and Ray who down, just raised there. He mentioned both of those guys are 6'7", and they are long and athletic and strong. And so I think there is lots to be excited about in this class. And these guys come in. And the kicking situation. If you're a Tiger fan, you understand how serious that is. And so I never thought that you'd be this excited over a kicker.
That's really why I'm shivering like this, because I'm so excited about the kicker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you all so much for joining us on this emergency edition of Hall Talk. As always, like and subscribe. It does us a huge favor getting our content out. Hope that y'all enjoy this type of stuff. We will be back live with you Tuesday from Jacksonville, Florida.
Where it's warm.
Actually, the highs that week are like 55. So
that's better than 30 in the shade.
That is very true. But thank you all so much for joining us. Y'all have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas. And we'll be back with y'all again on Tuesday.